when Emily fixed her eyes on me and said, "We'll live separate lives now, Daniel. You don't need to know where I go or what I do." Something inside me cracked. 4 years, I had been the reliable husband, the one paying the bills, fixing what broke, showing up at every family event with a practiced smile. Lately, Emily had been distant, always glued to her phone, always busy with friends I'd never met. I told myself it was a rough patch, that every marriage had them. But that night, her words didn't sound like a rough patch. They sounded like a verdict. She wasn't asking for space. She was declaring me irrelevant. I leaned back in my chair, forcing calm. "Separate lives, huh?" I repeated. She didn't even look up, her thumb scrolling across her screen. I nodded once. "All right then. Separate lives it is. But if that's the case, Emily, we'll also have separate wallets." Her head jerked up. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I've been funding this marriage while you've been busy. If I'm not your partner, I won't be your ATM either." Her face twisted in anger. "You wouldn't dare." "I more than dare," I said, standing and grabbing my laptop. I began moving money into an account under my name alone. For years, I'd trusted her with our savings, but I had always kept a quiet safety net, a rainy day fund. Tonight, it was finally pouring. Emily's voice rose. "You can't just cut me off. That's not how marriage works." I laughed bitterly. "Marriage? You just declared we don't have one. You want freedom. Then you can finance it yourself." For the first time, I saw something flicker in her eyes, not defiance, but fear. She had been bold only because she believed I'd never push back. Tonight, she learned otherwise. The next morning, I rerouted my paycheck, froze the joint account, and put the credit cards under review. By noon, her phone buzzed nonstop with declined charges. That evening, she was pacing the living room, furious. "What the hell, Daniel? My card didn't work at the salon. Do you know how humiliating that was?" I set down my briefcase calmly. Not as humiliating as hearing my wife announce she's single while still spending my money. Her eyes narrowed. "So this is punishment. You're trying to control me." "No. I'm giving you exactly what you asked for. Separate lives. You pay your way. I'll pay mine." Her face went pale. For all her bravado, she wasn't prepared to actually stand on her own. She liked the illusion of freedom, but she liked my paycheck even more. The cracks showed quickly. Her so-called friends stopped inviting her out when she couldn't cover the bill. The pricey yoga classes disappeared. Her standing salon appointments vanished. Bit by bit, the glamorous facade she had built on my dime fell apart. One night, I found her at the kitchen table, phone in hand, eyes red. She looked up when I walked in. "Daniel, can we talk?" I didn't mean what I said about separate lives. I was angry. I shook my head. "No, Emily. You meant it. You're only upset because living separately is harder when you have to pay for it." Her apology rang hollow, rehearsed. I'd heard it all before, half promises followed by the same behavior. This time, I didn't bite. I sat across from her, letting the silence stretch. "You're not sorry. You're scared. Scared of losing the comfort I provided while you played at independence." Her eyes filled. "That's not true. I love you, Daniel." I was confused. Love doesn't look like secrets and late-night texts. Love isn't telling your husband he's irrelevant while expecting him to bankroll your lifestyle. I raised a hand before she could protest. "I've already spoken to a lawyer. The accounts are split. The house will be sold and divided fairly. You'll get your share, but you won't live off me anymore." The color drained from her face. Panic replaced her smug defiance. Weeks passed quickly. I packed my things and moved into a quiet downtown apartment. Peaceful. Mine. Emily tried calling, leaving messages about starting fresh. I didn't answer. I had already started fresh, without her. One Saturday, walking by the river, I ran into Claire, an old friend. Conversation flowed easily, no games, no tension, just laughter and memories. It struck me then, I had been starving for real connection. Something Emily hadn't offered in years. By the time the divorce papers were signed, Emily was a shadow of the woman who once strutted beside me. She wouldn't meet my eyes when she whispered, "Goodbye, Daniel." I walked away, head high, future wide open. For the first time in years, I wasn't just enduring a marriage that drained me. I was free, and freedom was worth more than anything she ever pretended to give.